the first aid kit?
Bring the first aid kit.
You know what the first aid kit is? In the office we have one. It's like a box and it has like a red cross on it, and inside is like band-aids, something to clean your cut, something to wrap your cut, things like that. Everything you need to help when you're hurt. That's the first aid kit. Alright? Fix the fence.
Fix the fence.
You know what a fence is? Do you see the picture? Number 4. In Taiwan, there's fences with metal. So it's like a half wall, like here. And then there's metal here, and it'll go around the building maybe. Like your house in the front, maybe a fence, small. It's just to keep things out. Maybe like dogs or rats. It stops it. You understand? Alright, set the table.
Set the table.
Set the table means, for example, before dinner time, when everyone wants to sit down and eat. Setting the table means you put the plates on the table, you put a cup, you put the knives and the forks. Like for summer camp, when we cook food and make food, we always set the table before, you know? Okay? And last one, build a fire.
Build a fire.
Has anyone built a fire before? You have? Really? Did you go camping?
Yes.
Make a fire.
It's called build a fire because when you make a fire, especially when you're camping, you have to get a lot of wood, you have to get some things that burn, so you're building it and then you're lighting it on fire. You understand?
I was not lighting, it is put the
Gasoline? Like a water, a liquid?
no, it's wood.
You put wood onto a fire. Oh, okay, sure, that counts. All right, let's look at the next page. Present, continuous, and past. So, everyone has learned about past tense, right? We use past tense in English to show that something has already happened. It happened a long time ago, or maybe yesterday, okay? Present we use to describe things that are happening now. And present continuous is almost the same thing. It's what's happening now. Past, it happened before. Future, it's going to happen. We haven't worried about that yet. And this grammar today is focusing on now. What we're doing now. And how to say it. So, look at number 1. The present, the normal word is make. The present continuous is making. And the past tense is made. Okay? So, present continuous making is what's happening right now. I'm making bread. Pretend I'm making bread. I'm making bread right now. It means I'm doing it. Okay? Made past tense. Number 2, feed, feeding, and fed. Alright? So you're adding ing to the word. And that means it's happening right now. Do you understand? Adding ing. It's not too complicated, but it can be confusing. Alright. Number 3, Selena, what's number 3?
Put.
And the present continuous?
Putting.
And the past tense?
Put.
Put. Put is one of those strange words where the normal word and the past tense word are exactly the same. It's weird, but you can still add ing to it. Okay? And don't remember, for putting and setting and things like that, sometimes you need to add another T. Putting. P-U-T-T-I-N-G. Okay? Alright, set. Setting, set. Number 5, Bonnie. Bring. Bring. And? Brought. Yes. And Phoebe, 6, build.
Building.
And built. Okay? Alright, let's practice with these words here. Number 1, feed, fed. What was it's on the book. What's the present continuous? Feeding. Okay. Archie, draw.
Draw.
Drawing and
Draw.
drew. The past tense of draw is drew. Okay, Nina, buy. Add ing. Buying. You don't need to add a T. Buy. Buying. And the past tense? Bought. And Hank, eat. Eating. And? Ate. Good. And Momo, drink. Drinking. And the past tense? Drank. Good. Okay, let's look at the sentence pattern that they're trying to explain to us. He's setting the table, isn't he? Yes, he is. Okay? Remember, for he, she, it, you use is. And for they, I, we, you use are. Don't use he, are, or she, are, and they, is. It's not right, okay? Remember, there's a difference. Okay, so he's setting the table, isn't he? Yes, he is. They're setting the table, aren't they? Yes, they are. Whatever you use, is or are, you have to use it at the end of the sentence. He is setting the table, isn't he? Okay, it has to be the same be verb. Is, are. And in the answer, it also has to be the same. So he's setting the table, isn't he? Yes, he is. It can't be yes, he was. It has to be yes, he is. Okay? Make sure the tense, the words you're using are the same. Otherwise, it doesn't make sense. Do you understand what I'm talking about? Okay. He set the table. Let's read. He set the table, didn't he?
He set the table, didn't he?
Yes, he did.
Yes, he did.
Okay, it's the same, didn't, and then the answer did. Okay, they set the table, didn't they?
They set the table, didn't they?
Yes, they did.
Yes, they did.
And then the answer is no, he didn't.
No, he didn't.
And no, they didn't.
No, they didn't.
Okay, let's practice more. Next page. So, to practice here, I want you to try doing past tense and present tense, present continuous tense. Okay, so number 1, past tense. He's playing with the dog, isn't he? No, he isn't, or yes, he isn't, whatever. That's present continuous, okay? That's the new sentence pattern. And then try again, this time past tense. She played with the dog, didn't she? Yes, she did. You understand what I mean? So you use 2 tenses. Okay? Okay, let's try. Number 1, Archie.
They sit the table.
They are.
They sit the table.
Present continuous, so you have to add ing. They're setting the table.
They're setting the table, isn't they?
Aren't they?
Aren't they? Yes, they
Are.
are.
You see what I mean? You have to make sure you use are, okay? They are setting the table. Aren't they? Yes, they are. Okay? It has to stay the same. All right, let's try the the past tense, Archie. They set the table.
Set the table.
Didn't
they? Yes, they did.
Yeah, like that, okay? All right, number 2. Let's see. Barney, try number 2.
She's cleaning the
Table.
Isn't she? Yes, she is.
Yes, she is.
Yes, she is.
Yeah, and past tense?
She
Cleaned.
the table. Didn't she? Yes, she did.
Yes, like that. Okay? All right, Phoebe, try number 3.
She trained the
She's, remember, for the present continuous, add is or are. Okay? She's
cutting the
sign.
sign. Yes, she
Isn't she?
isn't she? Yes, she is.
And past tense?
She painting 了三
didn't.
，didn't she? Yes, she did.
Very good. Okay. Selena, try number 4.
He's fixing the fence, isn't he? Yes, he is.
Very good. Past tense.
He fixed the fence, didn't he? Yes, he did.
Very good. Hank, try number 5.
He's
ing. Build.
building a fire with
Isn't.
isn't
He.
he?
And the answer?
No, he isn't.
Okay. And past tense.
He built a
What's the past tense of build? He built.
He built a fire. Didn't he? No, he didn't.
Yes. Good. Okay. Number 6. Angela, try number 6.
She
The present continuous add is she's. I add ing. She's bringing.
the first aid kit.
Good. Isn't.
She. Yes, he is.
She.
Yes, she is.
Good. Okay. Past tense.
She brought
Uh-huh.
the first aid kit. Didn't she? Yes, she did.
Very good. Okay. Number 7. Momo.
He's putting on sunscreen, isn't he? No, he isn't.
Good. Past tense.
He put on sunscreen, didn't he? No, he didn't.
Very good. Okay. Who hasn't spoken yet? Hey, no? Okay. Number 8.
You're feeding the horse,
Are.
aren't you? Yes, I am.
Good. And past tense.
You feeding the horse.
Past tense. You fed the
You
horse.
fed the horse, didn't you? Yes, I did.
Very good. Okay? It's a little bit confusing at first, but the more you get used to adding, it's just adding ing. Okay? It's not too complicated. You don't need to worry too much about it. Okay? Remember when you're doing the work for this chapter to make sure that your tense is correct. Don't add ing and then make the answer past tense. You know what I mean? She's feeding the horse. No, she wasn't, you know? Okay? Make sure you keep the tense the same and that your be verb, your is, are also the same. Is, did, aren't. Okay? Do you have any questions? No? But you sure?
It's always likely to isn't he or isn't she or aren't she that need to add
Apostrophe?
and apostrophe.
The N and apostrophe T. You mean when isn't and aren't, you always need the apostrophe?
This is the question that
You mean why they need to make it a question?
in present, but why need to use
Oh, instead of just he's playing with the dog and then question mark? Instead of he's playing with the dog, isn't he? Because he's playing with the dog is actually a sentence. He's playing with the dog. That's a statement. When you add isn't he, it becomes a question. So like in Chinese, when you add ma, you know, at the end of a sentence, it makes it a question, right? You understand what I mean? In this case, they need isn't he to make it a question. And they want you to practice asking a question. The sentence pattern is practicing asking questions. So they add isn't he to make it clear that it's a question and not a statement. He's playing with the dog can be a question, but it's not clear. You understand? They're trying to make it very clear that it's a question that you need to practice. You understand? Okay.
And why is he blah 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 blah? Why is isn't he?
Both are okay. I think this chapter they just wanted to add it at the end because maybe you don't use it a lot. Because when you ask questions to me, it's always is he doing this, da da da, right? So you practice it a lot. That's good. But now you can practice it this way. So you can use both clearly. Okay? Any more questions? You all understand? Okay, very good. Then let's read the story. Okay, at the ranch. Does everyone know what a ranch is? Ranch. You know the Chinese? A ranch is like a farm, but it has more animals than plants. So instead of corn or wheat or something, there's more horses, cows, chickens, I guess. What else can you farm? Horses, cows, chickens, pigs, okay? A ranch is something that only Americans really use. It's their favorite word. It's where all the cowboys come from. You know, you see America, there's a lot of cowboy movies, and they're riding horses, and they live on ranches. That's where they live, okay? Ranch and a farm are similar. There's some differences, but it's not very important. Okay? Alright. Hi, Mike. What are you doing?
Hi, Mike. What are you doing?
I'm making pancakes.
I'm making pancakes.
Do you want to give me a hand?
Do you want to give me a hand?
Sure. Do you know what you're doing?
Sure. Do you know what you're doing?
Of course. There's a recipe in that cookbook.
Of course, there's a recipe in that cookbook.
Read it to me, okay?
Read it to me, okay?
All right, the first ingredient is flour.
All right, the first ingredient is flour.
1 cup of flour.
1 cup of flour.
Got it. What's next?
Got it. What's next?
Stir in 2 teaspoons of baking powder.
Stir in 2 teaspoons of baking powder.
And 1/4 teaspoon of salt.
And 1/4 teaspoon of salt.
Then mix in 3/4 of a cup of milk and 2 egg whites.
Then mix in 3/4 of a cup of milk and 2 egg whites.
Got it. 2 teaspoons of baking powder and 1/4 cup of salt.
Got it. 2 teaspoons of baking powder and 1/4 cup of salt.
Then 2 cups of milk and 3 to 4 egg whites.
Then 2 cups of milk and 3 to 4 egg whites.
Wait, hold on.
Wait, hold on.
I said 1/4 teaspoon of salt.
I said 1/4 teaspoon of salt.
3/4 of a cup of milk.
3/4 of a cup of milk.
And 2 egg whites.
And 2 egg whites.
Oh no, what a mess.
Oh no, what a mess.
Alright, so So what happened? They were making, what were they making? Pancakes, yeah. And they asked, oh, do you know what you're doing? And then Mike was like, oh yes, I'm fine. And then he said, there's a recipe. Remember what recipe is, right? The thing that tells you how to cook something. And then he said, oh, there's a recipe, I'll be fine. Read it to me. So they read it. And what were some of the ingredients? What did they use? There was flour. What else?
Baking powder.
Salt, milk, and
Eggs.
Yes. So she read out the ingredients and how much you need to put in. So there's 2 teaspoons and then 1/4. Remember I said that numbers have words that we use in English. I said 2 was by, try was 3, 4 was quarts. 4. So 1/4 teaspoon is 1/4. That's why they use 1/4 teaspoon. It's 1/4 of 1 teaspoon.
Teacher was baking powder.
Baking powder is it's difficult to explain. It's something you add to bread, pancakes, and sometimes cakes, and it helps to keep the things together. I don't know how to explain it to you because I need science. But it's a white powder. You know what powder is?
泡打粉.
Yes. And baking powder. It's an ingredient that you add in. You don't taste it. It doesn't taste nice. Don't eat it. Please don't eat it. It doesn't taste nice. And you add it in just because it helps make the pancakes stay together instead of when you pour it in a pan and it becomes like eggs, you know, really gross. So that's why you added it. You don't taste it, but you need it. I'm afraid I can't explain.
Even I explain to them in Chinese, they still have no idea.
It's difficult to understand. All right. And then there was 1/4 teaspoon of salt, and then 3/4 of a cup of milk, and so 3/4, 1/4 is 1/4. 3/4 would be 3/4. Okay, they're breaking 1 cup down into 1, 2, 3, 4 parts. So 3 is like this. 1, 2, 3 parts of a cup. Okay, 3/4 of a cup of milk, and then 2 egg whites. What does egg whites mean?
Egg inside the white.
The white, no, not the yellow part. The yellow part is yolks. The egg whites are this part, not this part. They don't want this part. They only want this part.
See?
So when you crack open an egg,
This part.
yeah, the white part. Teacher Pearl's earrings are eggs. You can see. So when you're baking, you crack open the egg, and then you have to pour the yellow part over like this, and then let the whites go into a bowl, and then you just pour that in. I've never heard of pancakes using egg whites.
Teacher, this is egg.
Yes, yes. His bed is egg whites. Yes.
Pancake is like a pan.
Pancakes are called pancakes because you fry them in a pan, and they taste a little. They feel a little bit like cake. They're not really like cake. Pan is this thing. Here. This one. You use it to fry.
That's Chinese. I think it's 小莲松饼.
Similar. In Taiwan, you don't really cook American pancakes. They're talking about American pancakes. It's a little bit different. American pancakes, they like to be thick. They're like this thick. So they really do taste a little bit like cakes. And they're very sweet.
Teacher, I was in Australia and it's chocolate nuts and I eat one and I can't eat.
Can't eat anymore?
It's full and so sweet.
They really like to make it sweet. I don't know why. And then when they finish, they make it sweet, they pour maple syrup on, you know? It's like sugar syrup. And then it tastes even more sweet. I don't know what to tell you. Some people like it sweet, some people don't. I mean,